Hello and welcome everyone to episode 180 of One Piece at a Time, the One Piece read-through podcast where we read and discuss 5 chapters of the One Piece manga each and every week. I'm your host, Derrick Bittner, and I'm joined by my wonderful co-host and freelance letterer, Brandon Bovia. How you doing, Brandon?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm, of course, Brandon Bovia, freelance letterer extraordinaire, and man, we are 20 episodes away from the big 200. And, you know, given that we have a movie next week, we have, I mean, that would be 95 chapters from now, basically.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. I guess every 20 episodes is 100 chapters. Weird to think about. So yeah, we'll definitely be done with Whole Cake by the time we get before we get to the end of before we get to episode 200. So weird to think that we're closing in on that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of wild, and I feel like we're going to be in a good spot once we get to the big 200. And it's quite crazy to think we have a whole arc, like the entirety of Whole Cake and then some, before we get to that point.
Yeah, and Whole Cake continues to be wild, and it's like
it's not what you think, right?
Right? It's kind of what you think, but also kind of not what you think. It's different in its own ways, and it's just Oda just going nuts with a few like visuals and ideas, and we get the reveal of Big Mom's devil fruit, which, boy, that has some interesting...
that's right.
Yeah, that has some interesting implications for how things will go down. I don't know. So,
very much so.
There's a lot of things that happen, but also it's kind of straightforward. There's not a whole lot of twists, I guess is the best way to put it.
I don't think this is going to be a 2-hour episode.
We'll see. I don't trust this anymore.
That's true.
We'll find creeping something ever closer, and by the way you talk, it seems like by Wano or later, that's going to happen.
I feel like there are some sections, some fairly lengthy sections, a little later on that are like, oh yeah, this is. I think because I had saw the episode that had just gotten live on YouTube was like, oh right, it was like an hour 48 or something like that. I was like, oh good god. But also thinking like I could see that our average really is just like creeping up longer and longer. So.
Yeah, and it's not. Remember when we'd be sub an hour? That was thing.
Right. Like we were 45 minutes, 50 minutes sometimes. I that's never happening. Never again.
No, and we talked about that, but it's like maybe getting it, like trying to keep it down. It's like no, it's impossible. There's just too much to talk about.
Yeah, no, there's exactly. And that's what this podcast is for. We're here to dive into as much of the minutia as possible.
Yeah, so let's not wait any time. Let's get to that minutia with chapter 831, Adventure in the Mysterious Forest. And I love that Rayleigh just comes to Ruskena just to show the animals that Luffy befriended that, hey, he's still alive. He's still good.
He's doing good.
All these
not at all what I was expecting from like we're gonna go here. They're gonna go here. It's like, oh yeah, why not go to Ruskena? Sure, because his animal friends are important to him. So that I think that's a nice touch.
He hung out with them for 2 years, so good on him. Yeah. Also, shows that Rayleigh didn't have to sell himself into slavery in order to pay off his debts.
Hey, there you go.
After
he's doing fine.
He's still gambling.
Thankfully.
Exactly. Oh, goodness. Well, let's get into the chapter itself, where we have arrived on the southwest coast of Whole Cake Island. And already we're splitting up the group. We got 2 teams here. One dedicated to getting the poneglyph, and the other dedicated to getting back Sanji. And the poneglyph squad, I think it's a good one. I think we got Brook and Pedro, both good at hiding and espionage, thanks to Brook's ability to send out his soul. So you know what? I'm down for this.
I think their personalities, I think, are a good. They're not like. I guess that's the thing. Pedro is serious, but he could also be a little goofy. And I feel like Brook is the opposite, that he's goofy and can be a little serious.
Yeah, I guess that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, so I think that they balance each other out really well. So I'm excited to get into the exploits of them a little bit, but
yeah, we don't see a lot of it. They just sort of take off and do their own thing for now in the submarine, which it's cool to see that get you see what they're gonna do, and let's see what happens there. But as for everybody else, they arrive and it's like, oh, I smell adventure. It's like, please no, please no adventure.
Please no. Yeah, of course. Poor Nabi.
And Luffy's just calling out, hey, Sanji, Pudding, we're here like we said. Come on out. Let's make this easy. And they're like,
yeah, right. Let's just do it. All right.
Nice and simple transfer, and no sign of him, even though Luffy thought he spotted Sanji from the mast. So they're like, where is he? Of course, everything is still food based. The ground is made of meringue, which, all right.
Oh yes, of course.
How is this place not?
It really is. Which is the interesting thing to me, that, you know, we are in a land of sweets, but the first thing that we do is go into a forest.
Yeah. Oh no, we're going classic fairy tales. We got to watch out for those witches.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
gotta load up the ovens.
This whole section feels like it feels like Oda playing with the classic fairy tale tropes.
Very much so. But yeah, Nami's trying to figure out. It's like, okay, this is definitely Southwest Coast. You wouldn't lie. Why would he vanish? What's going on here? And then they spot him. Like, there he is, just hanging out next to a tree. So they go to greet him, and then he disappears.
He's gone. Yep.
Where'd he go?
And now they are really in the forest.
And you see this forest of sweets, and it's basically like, oh, we're channeling Willy Wonka with this visual.
Yeah. Yes. Really.
Going in that direction.
You know, all of the trees, and you got the I don't know, the bridge made out of, you know, cake and sweets and all that.
And our three hungry characters are ready to go. And like, I'll go over here in the direction of the cake. I'm going to go over here where the caramel is coming from. I'll take care of the jelly beans. And Nami's immediately like, nope, stop. We're not splitting up. We're going to stick together.
Thank goodness for Nami, who feels like she is having to wrangle a bunch of kids together. You're like, no.
Especially because Chopper's immediately loading himself up with cotton candy, thanks to the flowers.
Yes.
The river is made up of melon juice. It is just more of that. The bridge that they're walking across as they go across this river is made out of donut. However, it happens to be a hungry alligator getting ready to snap them up within said donut. So they have to run away from that. So
yes, of course, you know, there has to be chaos, you know, right from the start.
I do love how you know, Carrot's asking, should we beat it up, Luffy? He's like, no. And because he's just looking, and then you look at this guy, and this alligator, he's just like wearing suspenders and a little boulder hat. And he's like, no, just humans. And he just walks off. And Luffy's upset. It's like, what do you think you were chopping on? And Nami's like, that's not the point. That was a talking crocodile with clothes and a hat. This forest is weird, dangerous and weird. And I love how Luffy points out, it's like, if that freaks you out at this point, and you have both Chopper and Carrot next to her, it's like, I mean, that's a reptile.
It's very unusual that Luffy gets to be the straight man in any gag. So it's very funny that he just pats Carrot, just like, yeah, at this point, you know.
We are kind of used to animals talking at this point. It's a thing.
Yeah.
They don't typically try to eat us, but, you know, it's still a thing. But that's when Luffy appears. And by that, I mean, there's another Luffy. They immediately like shout out, like, who are you? Like, what do you mean who I am? I'm Luffy. Stop copying me. It's like, oh no, we've devolved into the Sonic OVA.
No, yes.
I
thankfully, Chopper is quick to point out that it's definitely a mirror because all of his like features are on opposite sides.
which I was grateful for Oda pointing out because I did not notice that right off the bat. I'm sad to say, and then I immediately noticed like, oh yeah, the scar is under the wrong eye.
Right? Yeah.
Thank
So
God
it's
for
like
that
so it's like a mirror.
asymmetry. Yeah. So they're doing this whole thing where they're just mimicking each other this entire time, but that's Carrot spots Sanji up in a tree, and I wonder. I see him up in that tree, and I was like, is Oda doing a 4Kids reference? Because he's hanging out with a lollipop.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. That's so funny.
I saw him just there staring at them deadpan.
Yes.
But there's a lollipop in his hands. It's like, Oda, are you referencing the American version? Like, I don't even know if he would be aware of that version, but
right. But like either way, that is an incredible coincidence.
right?
Yes. No. Wow. I did not clock that at all. But that's so funny.
I hope that's intentional. I doubt that'll get an SBS question, but man, I hope that's the case. It's
oh man,
so good. But he disappears once again, and Luffy's like, "Hey, you guys, go get Sanji. I'm gonna take care of this double of mine." And he starts going for the Gatling, and it's just matched toe to toe, no issue. But they don't make it very far before they run into a huge person stuck in the ground, and he has...
Oh god, it's Gaimon again.
I know, he is very Gaimon coated. His hair is kind of done up like a fancy do, but he has like...
almost.
Yeah, but he has like a mustache
bow.
and whiskers all over. And it's like, wait, who did this to you? It's like, you're buried in the ground. It's like, oh, I'm buried here because I want to be. And with him constantly putting like in there, I imagine him talking like a Valley Girl.
I think that's the gag.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say,
know what it is in Japanese, but that's how they chose to localize it, is to give a kind of the Valley Girl like.
Yeah, I'm buried here because like I want to be.
Yeah.
he just really wants juice, and Chopper's upset because it's like, I was worried about you, and you're just there because you want to be. Like, what the heck? It's like Chopper's actively upset at this guy.
Yeah. I feel like we're trying to get pulled into a side quest here. He's like I really love apple juice, and there's like an apple juice bottle left. I love that. Nami's like, ignore.
just we gotta move on. Let's search for Sanji. Let's go. It's like, hey, if you give me the apple juice, I might just like tell you which way to go, and they just ignore. But that's when Carrot. I love that we have Carrot here to help buff up this side of the team, because she immediately clocks that there's some kind of enemy coming, makes them duck, and this rabbit, the guy with this lance, just cuts through a bunch of the trees and just looking badass.
Yeah, and of course because everything here is alive, the trees are like
And I mean, at that point, like, we got that rabbit, we got the trees, we got these images of like clocks and time, and the compass is all spinning around. Everything's weird and messed up, and we get this ending shot, of course, all the forest with the which reveals this to be the seducing woods. It's like, did you hear? I did hear. Crowd closer. It's blocked the exit. Let's play with them. We'll play with them to death. And it's like, oh, this feels extremely not Wizard of Oz, but Alice in Wonderland, in how in some of the way they're coded. Especially we got a white rabbit.
I'm surprised it took us this long to get like the Lost Woods trope. It, like for an adventure series, like an adventure story, I feel like getting kind of caught in all right, this is the forest where the mysterious things are alive, everything's talking. I feel like that's a very common like adventure trope that it took us a long time to get to.
I mean, it took us how long to get to a tournament arc? So I mean,
that's also true.
It takes its time. I love the addition. Like, yeah, they can really get people lost here because we got bones just hidden amongst all of this. So
that is the the foreboding.
Yeah, it's definitely a not safe. This is the problem.
Yes, this is our first challenge here in Whole Cake Island, and I love the setup of, all right, we're in a candy themed place. We got to go find Sanji, and what's the first thing? A forest. All right,
sure, let's do it. But let's go ahead and move on to our next chapter, 832, Kingdom of Germa. And common thing here, we got a lot of color spreads this set. Usually we only have 2. We have 3 this time. And I don't know how I'm going to integrate that for the visual side of the podcast. Because usually I put one at the beginning, one at the end. Is like, how do I show these off? I'll have to figure something out. But in the meantime, it's just like, why join the Navy if you can be a pirate? I love that on the side of the boat there.
Yeah, it's nice, kind of water themed. Got the boats, of course. Nami showing off the goods.
Yeah, it's like she's on some sort of like soda commercial or something like that. The way she's drinking that water.
Yeah. I don't
know what's going on there.
Robin holding on to like a flamingo.
Yeah, she's just cuddling a flamingo for whatever reason. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't fully understand that one, but sure.
Yeah.
It's cute.
It's fun. It's fun.
But we return to the seducing woods, and all the trees are talking, and everything's talking. Basically, like, they've noticed us. The Straw Hats have noticed us. No, not yet. They've noticed that something's afoot. They're being played by Lady Brûlée. Whose prey are they? They'll make a tasty smoothie. And it's like, okay, this is creepy. I can totally imagine the anime actually
really creepy.
I can imagine the anime really ramping that up, but it's almost in a way creepier than Thriller Bark. Even though it's something similar, but it's like the fact that everything's so happy.
Because it's like, right, it's like not intended to be creepy, which kind of makes it more creepy. Like it's intended to be a happy place. These are souls, like they're smiling, and they're all, like they're trees, they're candy, they're plants, like they're all really happy things. But they are all foreboding. It's just like the like the song that Big Mom was singing with her introduction, where it was is it blood? Who knows?
It just has that right level of demented, but
yes,
Nami, Karen, and Chopper being chased by this rabbit, which is all the more confusing because we have Carrot here, but it is still on them, so we got to get out of the forest. It's actually quite tough. But according to Carrot, it's not a mink. So it's something else is going on here. So could be a devil fruit user. Don't know. But I like that we have that mystery there where there's like several explanations for the reason there's a rabbit with a spear trying to get them. And she actually confirms it because
now that we have zone devil fruits and minks, and we have things with souls in them. Like we have a lot of reasons for talking animals right now.
Yes, but not a mink because it can't make electro, which we haven't got a full explanation. I don't think we ever yet. Yeah, we don't know how electro works.
like really. But apparently, I guess it's something that only minks can do. Which I did not remember at all, because I remember when we got to Zoe and I was like, oh, they have like electric weapons, and I was like, I don't remember what that's about at all, but I guess it's an innate ability of the minks, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, and she uses that to fry the crane that the rabbit's riding on, which turns out this is the crane rider Randolph, and just get this fun fight where
great design. I feel like Oda has been in his like musketeer era.
Yeah, he learns like, oh, I like this drip. They just look cool in these outfits. Yep. I laughed so hard at this when he did this though, because he throws his spear, which kind of has like an axe sort of side to it, and it just spinning through the forest, cutting through everything, and they end up turned around back to where this giant guy is that's stuck in the ground, and it just embeds itself into the back of his head, and he's like, I hear something behind. No. It's like, and he's fine, it doesn't hurt him, it's just stuck in the back of his head now. It's like, oh, it's you people again.
I love this because it's got like, this section has the right amount of like tension with, we don't know exactly what's going on. There are things that are very clearly trying to kill us, and then there's just like this goober here who I guess just wants some apple juice and is kind of in the way.
But also makes for a good landmark, so they're able to find Luffy again, who's still fighting his doppelganger. So like, forget it. We're just going back to the coast. It's like, why are you guys?
Yep. Screw it.
We'll talk later. This place is full of traps, so let's go. We're being pursued, and that's when Luffy's like, hey, that's not me, and somebody stops him from stalking. Like, they stop him, so they're like, oh no, wrong Luffy's with them. And it's like, did you say something? No, nothing. As they try to leap across the bridge, wondering about, like, hey, what happened to Sanji? He's like, well, we don't even know if that is Sanji at this point, so we're gonna get out of this forest and then talk. So they run across the bridge, they run all around, and they end up back at the apple juice guy. This is the funny part now that they were just heading down the path we took to get here, and now all of a sudden they have somehow looped back around, which is like just peak, like, again, just Lost Woods trope every time. His first question is like, oh, hey, you guys are back, can you get this thing out of my head? That'd be nice.
Yeah, because that's the funny part, right, is that there's all this crazy stuff happening here, and he's just here, like, he doesn't seem to care. He's not trying to attack them, he's just like, hey, can you help me out here?
It's like, it's like, don't shout either. It startles me. So, you guys just keep coming back here. I don't know why. So they keep trying to escape, and they keep ending back there. The log pose isn't working. They just need a straight path. So of course, this is a nice challenge for Nami, who's just getting frustrated.
Oh yeah, as our navigator.
As she's pointing a direction, she's like, she sees the trees and flowers moving to a new position. They're like, crap.
they're all moving.
Yep. They've been busted. They all move around, and there's no way to get out. And that's when she realizes, oh, there was no path out to begin with. And that's when Doppelganger Luffy gets all freaky. He's like, have you finally realized the danger of this forest? And these are the seducing woods. And, the no pupils, that creepy smile, that is just so not Luffy. Grabs a hold of her, and we get our proper witch for this forest, because it turns out that Doppelganger Luffy was the 8th daughter of Charlotte Brule, who's just tall, lanky, got that classic long nose for a witch, has a scar across her face. She's something else.
Yeah. Poor Carrot calls her a tree.
And she's like, I'm not a tree, I'm Brule. And, it's a cute little rabbit and a cute little girl. How lovely. Beauty like this makes me want to tear it to shreds. And I think she has a bit of a chip on her shoulder.
She's quite the imposing figure.
Oh, yeah. I love how Oda has a theme from Big Mom, and he gets to play with what features they get from Big Mom. And, like, you never know what you're going to get with all these sons and daughters.
Yeah, very much so. And that I guess that's the benefit of Big Mom really having so many kids, is that there's just so much variety already.
It's really cool. But we take a break from that because, remember, this was titled The Land of Germa. We haven't really learned why it's called the Land of Germa. So we go back to the Whole Cake Chateau, her castle, and there's a lake behind it called Lake Apricot, as we see one of those weird, like, transponder snail looking ships that Germa's 66 uses. And we learn that only the ships of Big Mom's associates or those soon to join her empire are allowed entry to this lake. They're all clear, and we see them dock. The mast fold down, other than the for the flat the sail. The snail duck itself back in, and then it docks with other snails right next to it, and we see how Germa is actually a kingdom. It's unique in that it's the only seafaring country without its own lands. Germa is made up of dozens of ships that move independently and then lock together to form the shape of the nation. It is ruled by the Vinsmoke family, which conquered the North Blue with military might in the distant past. This is the kingdom of Germa, and people around the world fear its military unit known as Germa 66, where nearly all of its citizens are male soldiers. And their training is constant and never ending. It's like, oh, this is different.
Their country is the Megazord.
Yeah, their country is essentially a Megazord. And yet, is it just me, or does it feel like this might be still a little smaller than Moria's ship?
It does. I guess it's hard to really get a sense of scale for it, but I could imagine that like it actually isn't that big relative to other kind of like, I don't know, small to mid-sized locations that we've been to.
Yeah, that
like
sounds
it's a country, a kingdom, but it's probably like the size of a small town.
Yeah. It's also like it's hard to tell how many of those ships are out doing their own thing. In this case, it's like you don't even know if this is the full scale of Germa, and the fact that it can detach and do its own thing and technically rearrange this entire country is pretty wild and unique. So
yeah, it definitely, and that's a good way to have the country be able to get around too. And it makes sense if they're like, if they're going off fighting wars everywhere, it would make sense that they would that basically their whole establishment is just completely mobile.
I love how that one line also explains why Sanji and what we've seen of his brother go gaga for women when nearly all of its citizens are males.
Yeah, it's all men.
Yeah, they kind of learn how to appreciate some women. But Sanji's looking it over and isn't really saying much, and he just asks, not even really looks back, but just asks how long his sister is going to sit there. And forgive me, but I don't think they say her name at all during this. I was like desperately looking for it. Reiju. So she's sitting there, and I love her design. The more I see of her, the more like she's like, this is a character that stands out for me.
Yeah.
And
she's cool. I think that's the thing, right? Like the little bits we've seen of like Sanji's brothers, like, oh yeah, they're all kind of a-holes. Like they all kind of suck. But she it's hard to really get a sense of her personality, but she doesn't seem as insane as her brothers.
No, she seems sort of just chill, but also not exactly against everything. She's just there's her lot. But
right, yeah.
We do learn that it's been 13 years since Sanji's been with the Vinsmokes, and Sanji's just done with it. It's like, I have nothing in common with the of insane people who would put up a tasteless portrait like this. The conquest of 4 nations, the instant in which we vanquished 4 kings of the North Blue all at once. And father's dream is for the name of the Germa to reign over the North once again. Men are inevitably, what's wrong with that? Men are inevitably drawn to strength and glory. But why bother sputtering under the radar with that little pirate band? Take advantage of your royal blood and enjoy your life. And that's the thing that struck me the most about this. I didn't realize that Sanji is royalty.
Oh, yes.
I just thought it was a like mercenary band more than anything else. No, this is a royal family. And like, that's our second blonde that's
start to click,
related
right?
to well, I guess that's the funny thing is that Sabo's family was rich but not royalty. So Sanji's family is just plain royalty.
Right.
That makes the placement of the reverie all the more interesting. since we're dealing with
Oh,
royalty
right.
here. We're going to keep those themes kind of close to some degree. So.
Yeah, definitely.
And we were,
I
again,
like
just
this
dealing with royalty
intersection
back in
between-
Dressrosa.
Yeah. And I feel like it's only going to be kind of more and more of a thing as we kind of... I feel like we're really dealing with sort of countries and their places in the world. And I feel like Germa's placement here at this point in the story and being kind of tied to, not only Sanji's past, but kind of like where... kind of the state of things even just through hints of like the North Blue and stuff of... apparently that they were conquerors, and we're seeing this photo, and it's like, oh yeah, Dad wants to make Germa great again, basically.
Oh no, oh that's not good. But I also love how, thanks to Sanji's personality that we've seen up to this point, it really does emphasize how much he hates his family. Like he'll like he's surrounded by maids at this point. And one of them even says, "Your wish is my command, my prince." And he freaks out a little bit about it, like with the hard eye stuff. But it doesn't last long. He doesn't swoon over them for long.
Exactly,
it's just
right.
It's just immediately back to business for him, and that absolutely emphasizes how serious this is for him.
Yes, and I think we're gonna start to get kind of the bits and pieces of like their belief that that the Germa themselves and Sanji are royalty. Just as as Reiju's saying here, let the soldiers do the fighting. Like, you don't have many issues to worry about. Like, what's the problem? Like we've earned that right, and so that whole sort of thing. Whereas like it is kind of placing it on the opposite end of like who Sanji is as a person. Like Sanji's not interested in any of those things.
Yeah, and we finally then meet his father, Vinsmoke Judge, and just massive dude, huge head of hair, massive. Like, I would not expect this to be the father of Sanji after seeing his brothers and sisters. So, I love that he has his helmet on so you can't see his curly brows.
Maybe he's ashamed of it. It's a shame too, because as there's not much to comment on here in this chapter, but as we'll see, not a great dude. So it pains me to say that he kind of has a really sick design.
No, I mean, he looks like a commander. He looks imposing. He has the whole Generalissimo. Not he's king, but he's more importantly Generalissimo of the German 66. And I personally love this. He goes, "My son," and Sanji's like, "Don't talk to me. I have a father, but it's not you." And it's like, yeah, go Zeth.
That's it. That's the one. Yep. No, I feel we're gonna get a lot of that. This is Sanji. It's so amazing too that we are seeing him like so many scenes in a row, just completely hardline. Like, I don't want anything to do with you people. I frankly, I hate you people. And just immediately, like, I reject any concept of fatherhood that you might have between us. Like, I have a father, and it is not you.
Yeah. And this is definitely more pointed after reading the later chapters of this set. It's like he asked, "Did you do something to Yanji? He is quite powerful." And then Sanji just goes, "Then I guess I'm better." And we see what he did to Yanji later, and probably next chapter. And we end it with, "Nah, come outside. Men speak with their fists." It's like, oh, we're already getting a fight between Sanji and his dad.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, that's it. Like, we're just introduced Sanji's dad, and it's immediately time to jump into action. So that's great.
Yeah.
The tensions on the Sanji side of thing are already rising really quickly.
Yeah. It makes me really want to see just more and more. It's so cool. But let's go ahead and get to chapter 833, Vinsmoke Judge. And yet another color spread where they're all in their yukatas and enjoying the fireworks.
Yeah, summer festival, all just, chomping down on watermelon. This is a great one.
Yeah, very, very, very cute. So all down for that. But yeah, let's get into the chapter itself, where everybody's excited because it's a duel. The Generissimo is going to duel that Sanji guy. What's he like? I think I have a good idea. And then we check in on Yanji, who was like, what happened to Yanji? What did Sanji do to him? And Yanji's explaining, he's like, he's still refusing the marriage, so I stepped in to save father's peace for him, just like I used to, and then this happens. Oh, damn this Sanji, he'll get you. Sanji caved into his face. Like, his face is stuck in, like...
I kind of wish that was on
his
screen.
His skull got caved into the side. It's like, yeah.
Well, I guess that there's precedent for that, right? That Sanji can kick people's...
Yeah, he's able to, like, make somebody, like literally rearrange their face with like his abilities. So that was before the time skip.
Yeah. That's yeah.
But also, what's up with Yanji's face that's like, Hammer's not going to put your face back to normal, so let's use the press. And they have these two presses next to the side to him. They squish his face together, and it pops it back out, essentially. Like, what in the world are they made?
And it works.
Made
hey!
Of?
Look, man, Germa is the kingdom of science. This is science.
Sure, let's go for it. And of course, we get the pointed line of I'll get him that failure, which is important.
So, again, just interesting little pieces here and there.
But immediately, just in the fight where it's Sanji versus Judge, and I love how I was like, you would kick your own father. It's like, you attacked first. What are you doing claiming to be a father to me? It's like, no, you've come back to me, Sanji, my son. It's like, that's what you're saying? Say to the guy you're swinging at? Once this tea party's over, I'm out of here. This wedding's a whole farce. And he's like, do you really think Big Mama's going to allow that? I was like, I don't care what happens to you. I'm only here to protect the lives of my people. You're going to forsake your family? You're not my family. And that leads us into our flashback, which is not, they're definitely, I have to imagine there's more than this, but it's a nice little tease of a flashback, I have to assume.
Yeah, this is not even close to the full picture. But
yeah,
I just love just like that little bit of dialogue where they're basically like, Sanji's brothers are bullying him for cooking. And we are already seeing, you can kind of infer like Sanji has a passion and he's getting bullied for it. And royalty does not cook, there it is again, that sort of that concept of like, what Reiju was saying earlier, just kind of like, you don't have to worry about anything, right? Like everything is taken care of for you.
Mm-hmm. And he doesn't want to do that. He has passion, as you said.
Yeah. And it's hard to gleam it's hard to glean why they're calling him a failure, but it's clear that Sanji tries to punch the kid with the one, and he doesn't really it doesn't really land at all, basically, and then he punches back. And it's just completely
he hurts his own
Sanji.
fist.
So there's a clear power.
It really goes to show that Sanji was weak at this point, and he hurt his own fist trying to punch number one there. He's getting beaten down, and what's interesting is that we learned that all four of them were born in the same day. So how are you the only failure? And it's like, and that's again to emphasize all this. Dad walks by. It's like, you're picking on Sanji again. Help, Dad, Father. Why should I? You're not going to be of any use as a fighter at this rate, so I have no obligation to help you and nothing to gain by raising you. You're the shame of this family. And here's where you can see that even his sister, she's not bullying him, but she laughs at him. She's no support there. She's just still part of it. So she's no better. She's no better at this point.
Yeah.
So
it's hard for me, as a a 4-year-old at this point, it's hard for me to really blame her, but at the same time, she's certainly not helping.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, but I feel like just through this one interaction, you could already tell why Sanji hates his family.
Oh yeah. I get it. Yeah. That makes sense to me. They suck. Yep. They really suck.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bother raising you because I consider you a failure already. Good God.
Yeah. So, some father you are. And it's very funny seeing this interaction and then, having Judge be like, my son, how dare you treat your family like this? And it's like, bro, come on.
Yeah. And he even seems impressed because, like, wow, to think the Sanji I knew could actually wield hockey now. That's like, what? Take up your sword.
Yeah.
I taught you to use it. It's like, that's when Sanji has to break down his whole thing is my hands exist to cook. As long as I'm not turning you into food, I will not be using my hands at all, much less any blades. I'm a leg specialist. And, his sister's still like, is kind of impressed. He's like, ooh, he's got this strong. It's like, and they still refer to it as rat food. Royalty does not serve. It's a disgrace. So the father asks, Judge asks, why does this marriage dissatisfy you? And it's like, I'm part of the, I don't want to be part of the family. That really seems pretty obvious at this point.
I have my own life.
Yeah.
We're already seeing with the concept of like, Sanji as a chef, as somebody who serves other people versus, the concepts of royalty, and they're very much all like they kind of feel like celestial dragons almost in some instincts. They're not nearly as like fat and ugly and lazy, but they're very much all about like keeping up kind of the ideals of royalty. It's cool that it's not just like, oh, Sanji hates his family. It's like we are kind of really putting them on opposite sides, like philosophically.
We see more of Judge's abilities because he has rocket boots that launches him into the sky. They call him the Garuda, where he's very much aerial base. And Sanji's like, this is my forte as well, ironically. And he goes to use Diable Jambe with the Collier coup. But his father grabs his leg and slams him down, which pretty much instantly showcases that, oh no, his father's no joke.
Oh yeah, no, he's and it's interesting. He kind of has a Diable Jambe of his own with his electromagnetic crack, and as he says, war spurs on scientific progress. So you really get what he's all about.
He's base strong, but also has gadgets to help him along with it. But the thing is, Sanji, definitely took hits there, but he doesn't look damaged, and he just sort of seems like
he's kind of fine.
And he says, can I ask one thing? Is a birth father really that special? And he's like, you don't have a single good memory of him, do you? You had had a very, I don't know who's talking here. It's just like, you had a very tough time of it. It's like, is he asking himself this question?
He's talking to himself. I think he's talking to himself. Yeah.
No. Yeah. I didn't fully realize that at first. It's like, is a birth father really that special? You don't have a single good memory. You had a very tough time of it. And we see him locked in a cage with a mask, like an iron mask over his face. So he's literally doing the Leonardo DiCaprio Man in the Iron Mask bit with this. What the hell? Speaking of musketeers.
Yeah. And he's just, thinking back, and you're just like, Father, it's so dark. Just like the way that, like, he's just begging to be let out. And I feel like, again, there's still a little bit more here, but we have, I feel like, a good kind of broad understanding of the kind of upbringing that Sanji had before he met Zeph. And then just the way that, like, Sanji is reflecting.
And just realizing, like, oh, I just have hatred for this man. I do not care about him at all. And I like how Oda has kind of learned how he can sort of tease out flashbacks a bit. Because it used to be just all in one go, but starting with Dressrosa, I feel
you're right.
He starts getting a little bit of flashbacks throughout, to sort of get you just a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of context, and go from there.
Yeah, I think that's a good observation.
And we get another example of the men of Germa 66 willing to just throw away their lives as he goes to kick his father, and he calls forth three of his men, who one of them in the middle takes a spear to the back as Sanji goes to fight him, and he's able to block the spear that goes through the man's back, but he has like an explosive tip that sends him flying back. It's like, what in the... Got a death cult here.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. You're going to die for the cause. But I mean, I guess it's funny too, right? Because it's like they are royalty, so it's like they have completely, like, it almost feels like, and it's crazy too, because you're seeing the guys in the background, like in the crowd, like they're cheering it on, like, yeah, and it's like they have completely, like, brainwashed these people.
Yeah,
that, like, you should, die honorably for royalty is kind of the vibe here. It's a really interesting kind of peek at their society and their ideals and just like their morality or maybe kind of lack thereof. And I really feel like this whole stretch of the past couple chapters, the past like chapter and a half, has just been like, we need to establish that like, yeah, no, Germa's not they're not great.
No, not at all. But the fight's over. The sister's bandaging him up, and he's still insistent, I'm out of here as soon as this is over. And his father comes in again. He's like, I thought you might have changed, but you're even bigger scum than you used to be. So get out of my room. You're a stranger to me. He's like, nope, my blood runs through your veins. So don't be mistaken. The soldiers of Germa are loyal followers who would gladly die for the sake of the Vinsmokes. They are the true backbone of our might. And Sanji's just like, then use them to make your stupid dream come true. Conquer North Blue? That sounds perfect for your evil army. So it's like, yeah, it is. So, but partnering with Big Mom is what's going to allow me to make that a reality. So all I need you to do is understand. I've been hoping to keep this under the radar. I want Big Mom's help, but she demands a family connection. So it's just a marriage, but I don't relish the thought of sending my valuable sons to that madwoman's lair. And then I remembered that years ago, I had a failure. You are my sacrifice. And that right there explained my big question for why Sanji? Mm-hmm. Why was Sanji, yes. Like we have 3 other sons where they all married off or something, which didn't seem to be the case. But why Sanji? And he values his other sons more. He's just doing like, whatever, I don't need you. You are literally just a tool so I can get this army.
He's being the sacrifice, basically.
Yeah, and just to emphasize that even more, he's been calling him my son in this, but it almost seems like a taunt now because he ends all of this by saying, I have not changed my opinion in the least. I don't think of you as my son. So it's just like, what in the world?
Yeah, and the icing on the cake of all of this is that Sanji gets the slave collars put on him from the same ones that the Celestial Dragons had, back in Sabaody. So now if he tries to escape, he's gonna die. He will explode.
Well, so that's the thing. He's not going to die. Worse, he'll lose his hands because they put it around his wrist rather than his neck. And remember, we want him alive so he can marry. Killing him is not good. We want him to be able to marry Pudding. So he's fine if he loses his hands. But it's devastating to him because, well, they're vital to him, as he said. So it's the perfect chain for Sanji. And of course,
yes,
it belongs to Big Mom. I should say that the keys are with Big Mom. So I was expecting Germa 66 to be the big bads of this, but the more I see of Big Mom and how things are starting connected to her, it's like, no, I think she's definitely going to have a role to play in how this ends up. Exactly how,
we kind of have sure. 2 villains.
We got a double villains. Right? And ostensibly, Big Mom is the bigger threat because she's, an emperor. But we got Judge here as our more personal threat, which is a fascinating combination.
Yeah, and I feel like we've always, I feel like with One Piece, it's always been kind of like working your way up the ladder, right? And like you're dealing with usually one villain per arc, and you're just kind of dealing with like their, you're dealing with their underlings on the way up to like whatever big bad. But now we really do have like both, Big Mom and Germa 66 here, and it's like, well, yeah, they kind of have different motives, and I like that with Judge, we're kind of saying like, I don't like he calls Big Mom a madwoman, right? Like he's not doing this because he has some sort of affection for Big Mom. Like everybody clearly they're just using each other.
yeah, for sure. It
is a really interesting dynamic.
It's so different. And the thing is, the Straw Hats definitely seem on the back foot this time around, much more so than even Dressrosa, because, this is all Big Mom's territory. Plus you have Germa 66 and Luffy's team is... Double six, sorry. Luffy's team is not full of fighters. And there is... it's almost greater odds than before. And I don't see a source of new allies here outside of Pedro and Carrot. So how is this going to go down?
Yeah, we are. This is. This is the Dressrosa. This is not.
No, certainly not. We do have an SBS. Not too much to say other than the fact that somebody was questioning why Viola and Doflamingo call each other Dofi and Violet. What was going on between them is like, insightful question. Well, there's some very deep backstory here, but I cannot tell you about it. I've told my editor, but it's a very grown-up story, and therefore I'm not showing it in One Piece, my manga for boys. You grown-ups reading this can use your imagination. Dressrosa is the land of passion. I'm like, what the heck is Oda suggesting here? That seems kind of messed up.
That is not at all what I had thought. Like, when we were reading Dressrosa, like, yeah. I didn't really... I thought he was calling her Violet just to kind of like, because, it's Doflamingo, and he's like, he likes to cut to the core of people. He likes to really manipulate, and, like, he likes to talk. He likes to smooth talk people. My interpretation of Violet and Doflamingo was not the implications here, which is like, whoa.
That's weird.
That is surprising that he even alluded to that. That is pretty wild.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, Lord.
let's move on. Get to chapter 834, My Dream, and time to see what Hancock's up to as she's taken the wanted poster of Luffy and blown it up to just a huge size on the side of the castle so everybody can see him.
It's so funny that this happens also with Luffy and Nami.
I know, right?
Yep.
Oh, I gotta love it. We get into the chapter itself, and just a reminder that if you try to escape this island, they'll blow your hands off at the wrists. We're gonna see you married off, and it's not even any point of trying to pry him off because there's no way to take him off without the key, and Big Mom has the key. And I love seeing Sanji reflect, looking at his hands and seeing how Zeph, gave him crap, to how he's like calloused him up and not taking care of his hands with how he's like attacked with before up to this point. It's like, are these hands attached just so you can go fight with them? And he's like doing his usual abuse. But, and I also,
yeah,
it is so pointed that he gets frustrated, remembering this, how he's not treating his hands right at this point, and just yells out crap. And that is such a good callback to how Sanji was during his initial arc. And he always said crap chef, crap this, crap that. That went away.
Yeah.
And it comes back when he has those memories. That's good.
It's really good storytelling there, isn't it? This is such a good food, pardon the pun, of just like all of the stuff that we've been really wanting from Sanji. We are just still barely scratching the surface, but there's already all these cool little tidbits here and there of just, how just seeing him react to this really kind of personal and stressful situation. And really, I think bringing back like the memories of Zeph and kind of like the man that Zeph raised him to be versus kind of, the man that Judge would have raised him to be, or really even didn't want to because he abandoned him. So like it's wild that like this is Sanji is now in a situation where it really feels like there's kind of no hope no matter what he does. Like the only thing he can do is get married.
It's definitely looking more desperate for him, and I love that we get these callbacks to Zeph because it's been so long since we've talked about Zeph or seen him think about Zeph or even have him mention his dream of finding the all blue. So that's cool. Like I love getting these callbacks that reinforce that aspect of Sanji. But we move on to see how Pedro and Brook are doing, and this town's abuzz around the capital because Boss Jimbei betrayed us. He claims he wants out, and when he hears the price, he wilts and withdraws his request. So he's not only a traitor, but a coward. And it's like, that doesn't sound like Jimbei. What's going up here? And
Brooks you can already kind of
he wants to join them. What's going on there? But then they come across our good friend Baron Tamago, who's escorting Pudding, who's getting her dresses chosen and getting everything figured out. And we find out that, she's been kept busy this entire time, not able to go meet up with them in the forest. So that's why she never showed up. So not good there. So it probably means that Sanji doesn't even know we're here at this point. So who'd Luffy see? And it's like, oh no, this is bad.
Right.
Oh no, this is bad.
Oh.
I want to know how they have all this information, because they also overhear from Tamago, or people relaying information to Tamago about the Straw Hat ship, which landed at Chocolat Town yesterday. Oh no, they know. It seems that when they left again,
they know.
Already nowhere to be seen. Oh no, they know everything. And now today, four of the Straw Hats have wandered into the seducing woods. Might as well be caught. They've been captured. But whereabouts about the remaining two are unknown, and they're just both freak out. And I love that Pedro gets to freak out too. He's not so completely serious. So it's like,
uh-oh. It's been cooked from the start.
And we have like leopard mink and bunny mink, and they know so much that Tamago looks at the poster that they drew up for Pedro. It's like, no, that's not a leopard. He's a jaguar named Pedro. You know of him? We have a past. It's like, I believe I have an idea of what he might do. So, your job's to search for Peckhams. And wow. I want to know what her information network is like. She can find all this out.
We know that she has a big information network because, like, that's how they threatened Sanji, right? Or it's like, we know everything about the Baratier. We know that you trained at Kamabaka Queendom. Like, we literally know everything. So like the fact that it's very funny that just immediately it's like, oh no, they were caught from moment one. there has never actually been any hope of sneaking in from the start.
And hey, it wasn't even Luffy's fault this time. They never had a chance.
Yeah, exactly.
But I do like how Tamago is kind of hoping that Peckham turns around and begs forgiveness, but alas, doesn't know exactly what's going on, and still not great because, we get a reveal about Beige. That's so thrown off by this, because we get I'm crying here. It's like, shut up, Junior, be a good baby and shush, and he makes a silly face, and then we find out that he married Lola, or as apparently her proper name, Chiffon. That's Lola, right?
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that when we get to that. But there's definitely something going on here. But then they also had a kid.
And I love how the kid already has like a 5 o'clock shadow on his upper lip, and he's like using his binky as a cigar. Like he is just the spinning image of Beige. That's so good.
And that's so good.
Like all I can say, looking at this though, okay, I love that he's actually kind of a good family man. Questionable taste and all that. But my other part is like, Lola found herself a man. Good for her. I don't know about Beige as far as a choice, but she got to,
But
that's adorable in its own weird, messed up way.
Yeah. Hey,
oh my
just
God.
because he's a crime boss doesn't mean he can't be a good dad.
That's true.
And I love kind of the whole other point of the scene, because they're off in the middle of nowhere, off the coast of Whole Cake. So we have Peckham's here, and he's like, "This is disgusting."
And Beige is being thorough. He's like, ain't it dazzling? The light of new life and the fading of yours. That's like a painting. This is the fate you chose. I give you your chance, Peckhams. I didn't think it was much. And that's when Peckham's like, I didn't think it was much of an opportunity. Yeah, as I said back on Zoe, compassion ain't worth a single berry in this world. You ain't cut it out for this line of work. And that's so funny when he's like, has his son right behind him, like, where's that compassion?
Oh yeah, he's just kind of like, hey son, you want to see murder?
I am so fascinated by this because I don't think Peckham's is dead because, yeah, AJ in front of Lola, who does nothing about any of this. This is just what is how he goes, apparently. Shoots Peckham's off the cliff into the ocean full of sharks, and he's a devil fruit user, so it's not looking great for Peckham's because there is a splash.
Yeah.
And I do wonder what Peckham's is talking about when he says, you don't realize what you're getting into with Mama. So,
yeah.
What is that all about?
It's kind of cool that, like, on top of all the other things happening, we kind of have some, like, inner family conflict here.
Yeah.
And that you would think that, like since Peckham's is kind of presumably one of the OGs, right? Like, it seems like he's got a longer history, especially compared to Beiji, right? Like, he's got more, the way that he talks about Big Mom is like, I'll handle things, she'll be upset, like, I'll do it. Like, he's kind of the fixer. And yet here he is,
so.
He's getting whacked.
I don't know how to think about it, but then I love how we just using this chapter to check up on all these characters, because now it's time to check in on Caesar and how.
Yes, who he's getting put to task by Big Mom.
Yeah, it's funny, but it's also does lend insight into Big Mom's dream, so it has its own purpose as well. It's like, hey, she's basically taking the task like, hey, I gave you ample funding, Caesar. It's like, yeah, I continued the research the entire time, of course. It's like, and we get her to break it down. It's like, my dream is for all people and races around the world to be a family and sit at the table at the same eye level. And you're the one who will make that come true, Caesar. I want to make my family grow to the size of giants with the power of science. And basically, like, you constantly were saying, it's like, I'm almost done, just a bit more research funding. So I was so eager to see those results that I just poured the money in. So how did it go? And then we got Caesar. So and Caesar's just like, yeah, I was able to do the test and get the gigantification, which explains the kids. I love how that connects back to the kids and why they got gigantified.
Well, we already knew it was partly because also the Navy also wants giants.
True.
It's definitely the Big Mom.
Everybody wants giants.
Yeah.
But it's like she wants some sort of magic pill to make this happen without there being, I can't really guarantee survival with their that size. So it was obviously impossible. So instead, all the money she gave me, I called in those girl ships to the island so I could drown in cash, booze, and women. I love how he just indulged himself on her money.
He's got that face. And not only that, he got away with it because he was under Doflamingo. So he was protected.
Under Doflamingo, who is under Kaido. Amazing.
Yep.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And I love how Big Mom immediately calls him out. I was like, what's the face like Bob?
Oh, dear.
And I commend him immediately, like, for coming up with an excuse. It's like, this is all the fault of Straw Hat Luffy. I was running short on sleep, working tirelessly for your sake. And just when the research was about to bear fruit, Straw Hat and Trafalgar Law showed up. If it weren't for them, I'd have completed my gigantism drug by now. It was well within my grasp of my genius. But sadly, the advanced research lab built by the world government, the perfect environment for me to fashion the results, and all the funding you invested, the lab containing my work, they're all gone thanks to them. So I can no longer do it. And that's when Big Bomb says,
he's trying to get out of it.
Another one like on Punk Hazard. It's a good excuse. Like, it makes sense. But I love how she immediately dismantles it. It's like, oh, I've already built one. What?
Yeah, I got the blueprints ages ago.
Yeah. Again, that information network that she has. Incredible.
Yeah. And it's just, I love just Caesar, like, that face as he's just getting dragged back down, and he's just like, she's like, you've got unlimited funds at your disposal, so when can you do it? 1 week? 2 weeks? I can't wait. And it's so good because Caesar's just like humanity has been trying this for centuries and nobody has gotten it, and he's been trying to lie his way out of the situation, and it just keeps escalating, and so now
Especially when
God.
we meet the eldest son of the family, Perispero, the minister of candy with the lick fruit, the one who built this facility, I believe. He also has Caesar's heart, so now Caesar has no escape. Yeah. I love how that heart is still a thing at this point.
Yeah, Law is all the way off in Wano at this point, and it's just like, there's no hope. I love that we have one little flashback panel of Sanji's about to leave. He's like, Blackleg, return my heart before you go. He's like, oh yeah, good idea. And he gives it to Vito. Well, this is, I feel like, again, I can't stress enough just like how hateable Caesar is, but I love that he's been around so long that we've gone from him from just being like this is just dastardly, like horrible actual monster villain, and now he's just a gag character completely.
Mm-hmm. But he also still has story importance.
I get the feeling Oda likes him a lot.
I think so. I was so worried because, back early on when we got to like Fishman Island, we had what's his name with the tongue always hanging out, the one that was stealing mermaids and whatnot. You said that he shows up way more often than you think, and I don't discount the fact that he'll return, but it's been way less than I thought. Where I thought he would be in the same situation.
It's been longer than I thought.
Caesar's in. And Caesar works so much better at this role than
I'm actually kind of surprised, and it's kind of. Not to be down on Punk Hazard, which is an arc that I think is great, but like Caesar is, he is a good villain for what that story is. But like, if we have to have him around, he's much better in this role where he's kind of just getting crapped on by everybody. Like he's kind of the like One Piece's butt monkey, honestly. Like the Straw Hats crap on him, Big Mom craps on him. Like everybody is just giving Caesar nothing but grief.
And he has 2 weeks to make this gigantism drug. Or else Perispero here will turn him into candy and lick him to nothing. So, oh boy. I love how this is the oldest son, and I can't even tell it's a son.
Yeah, he's a freak. He's a big old freak.
But then we cut over to back to Luffy in the forest, and he is exhausted because he keeps finding dozens of Nami, Chopper, Sanji, Carrot, even Pudding in there. He just keeps stacking them up in front of this big guy that's buried under there.
I love it. Luffy's like, what's wrong with you guys? Did you multiply?
Why did you multiply? This makes no sense to me.
Luffy, he's not the right man for this moment.
No, he absolutely is not.
Man.
Unbelievable. That leads us into our final chapter. It's just all insane.
Yeah, it's just right.
So, let's get to it with chapter 835, Kingdom of Soul. And we have a ice cream party, or shaved ice party at the very least, with the crew and penguins and polar bears. And I love how the four in the back all have brain freeze, even Robin.
Yes. Even Brooke, who doesn't have a brain,
Yes. And Nami's just fine. Luffy's scarfing it down. This might be my favorite of the color spreads for this set.
Yeah. And of course I love, again, just all those little nods of like Usopp being kind of an artisan, kind of a craftsman, I think is really cool.
He's almost building stuff more than Frankie is a lot of the time. Frankie's usually just hanging out in the back with some random object.
Yep.
Oh, goodness. But time to learn a little bit more about Totoland. Because we're back in Chocolat Town, where twice a year the residents of this land of dreams are posed a simple but important question: leave or life? And we see them lined up, and each of them say life. And after they say life, this black creature thing that we saw in the previous set reaches into this woman's chest, pulls out a goopy bit of white, and pops it into a basket with a bunch of others. And basically, they're taking a bit of the soul, which we saw indicated from Big Mom's rampage.
Yeah.
Oh, which definitely explain some things as we get into it. But
Isn't that
before all that, we're back in the seducing wood with.
That's the cost of living.
Literally.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh God.
I love that Luffy is so confused at this. He's like, they're multiplying and they're making animal sounds. What happened to you guys? And it's so cursed seeing like Sanji, ook, ook, pudding, chirp, chirp, chopper, woof, woof. And it's just carrot, sha, Nami. But Nami's the real one. She's untie me.
I love how she's screaming the exact same way as Carrot. It's like, oh, one of them's talking like a human. Because it is me. It's like, he beats up Luffy. He's like, I'm sorry. Why'd you just grab me when I was searching for you? It's like I was rounding them all up. So you're the ones who multiplied. So it's like Nami's basically had enough. It's like, okay, you in the ground. What is going on here? Yeah. What's happening? That's when Nami explains to Luffy, he's like, you attacked us. Your doppelganger attacked us because it turned out to be that giant woman Brûlée, and captured all of them. It said we go back to where she's going to tear them to shreds, and she's getting ready to rake across Nami's face when Nami pulls out the climate baton, and I have no idea how she hides that thing where she has it hidden. that doesn't seem physically possible, but sure.
Well, hey, but it can extend.
It can extend. I guess it just extended even further. Sure. Yeah. But I love how she uses it to extend and gets a good hit in on Brûlée to free herself. Even gets a fancy move there. So
yeah.
Yep. Time for the fight, and Carrot leaps in to try to get into the fight with her Ella Claw, and it's blocked by a mirror and actually even punches back with a reflection. So
mirror force.
Yeah, we got mirror force. That's God. The Yu-Gi-Oh cards are flying now. That's not good. But we learned that Brûlée has the powers of the mirror fruit, and just as a mirror reflects the light that hits it, it will also reflect back any punches that land on it. And Carrot's like, nah, I'm gonna break the stupid mirror. She goes for it, and instead she gets sucked into the mirror with Mirror World. So through the looking glass, indeed, get more
right.
Alice in Wonderland and so forth. So, oh boy. Carrot's been captured. That's not good.
Yep.
And it's like, what happened there? It's like, oh, I won't kill you. Don't you understand what's going on? Mama already knows about your presence. Did you think you were undercover? No, think again. We're all after you on Mama's orders. That one, those ones, them, they're pointing all these trees, the rabbit that was attacking earlier. I think it was Randolph.
Although, not the guy.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't point at him. He just sort of ignored. It's like,
yeah, it's like you and you, not you.
Big Mom's orders are, let the Straw Hats keep going for now. Just don't let them meet Sanji. Make them rue that they ever tried to mess with me. And I love the name for these things. These random objects are called homies.
Yes, it's I love it.
I'm sorry, I'm going back to early 90s lingo when I hear that. I just can't help it.
Yeah. I think they're called homies in Japanese too. I have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure that's not a localization thing.
It would make sense. It feels like it would be a strange choice to call them homies in English as a localization. But now that they've been given permission to just do whatever they want, Chopper starts getting wrapped up in a root, and he's like, okay, there's too many of them. Nami, you got to get out of here. We can't help Luffy if all of us get caught. So find him, explain the situation. He uses the Rumble Ball to go huge, and Nami runs off to take care of this. And again, we get a little bit more detail where Big Mom's dream seemed altruistic, even though she acted kind of weird with her whole blood comment during her song. But we get a little bit more detail thanks to Brûlée here. It's like, you were interesting enough to start off with, but you can do this trick too. Mama will be delighted. She's not satisfied with just all the races. She's a collector of freaks. And I think right there, that characterizes her people at all tables things. She likes collecting freaks, which would probably include other races to her. So, Oh boy.
Yeah. I feel like you can already kind of see where, like, yeah, this is sort of Big Mom's ideal, but the way that she approaches it as kind of like everything will just be fine if you're all under my control. Like, as long as I'm the one collecting things and I'm the one who's in charge. Like, you can kind of see how the ideal has just been kind of warped and twisted, which feels like kind of a running theme with the story.
Very much so, and I'm curious to learn more to see exactly how far those plans extend. But I like how it's like, Big Mom might have layers, and then it's like, oh no, she doesn't. She kind of does, but also really doesn't.
Yeah.
So
the layers are that she's insane.
Yeah, she is truly insane. But yeah, it's gotten dark, so a whole day has passed. I think at this point there's like a day left before the wedding, so they are running out of time when it comes to that. But Luffy's ready to go save Chopper and Carrot right away. So where are they? Well, right here. Well, all of it happened in this very spot, but now there's no one around. So that's why I want to ask this guy. You watched the whole thing. Where's Chopper? What about Carrot? What's with the Brûlé woman and all the creepy forest monsters? Are you one of them? And he's like, no, we're not like enemies. If you want answers, go get me some apple juice. It's like, this is important. If you tell us something we really need to know, then we'll get your juice. Really? Yeah, I mean, if it's tasty, I want to try it too. Luffy logic.
Of course. Yes. And I really like where this goes too, what this is hinting at, where this giant guy, he points to Luffy and he says, like, by the way, you look pretty tough, but are you, pointing to Nami? And she's like, I am tough, what about it? And the way he goes on is like, the reindeer guy was amazingly huge and tough, but the flowers and trees jumped on him without a second thought. It's like, once they get an order, they'll never stop until it's done. But as Nami posits, like, they just kind of stopped coming after her after some point. So, like, that's interesting.
Yeah, it is. And Luffy said, I knocked out a bunch of them, and then they calmed down. How do they even move anyway? And that's when we get an explanation for the ritual that we saw at the beginning. Every 6 months, every resident of the Toto land has to pay the kingdom a month's worth of their soul in exchange for their safety. Basically, their lifespan. People who live here slowly give away their life 2 months of every year. That's like 1 year for every 6 people that reside here. How is that possible? Well, Big Mom has this soul fruit.
Yes.
And we saw a lot of months in there. So we saw this idea how much soul she grabbed out of that one son. It's like,
what was it, like 50 years, 40 years, something like that?
I think it was like 30 years or something like that, but still a massive amount of lifespan. So she can manipulate people's souls as she wills and takes the lifespan of her subjects and then spreads the accumulated human soul throughout the kingdom. That means all sorts of things take on a life of their own. You can't put souls into corpses or other people, but you can put it into trees and objects. And those things those objects with a soul are called homies. So, yeah, this is the true nature of Toto Land, and it's and I combat wise, I don't know what this fighting like this seems very tricky to handle.
Oh yes, that's for sure. I feel like I'm really glad that we're getting this, the particular reveal of Big Mom's devil fruit, because to me it really does feel like an emperor level devil fruit, right? Actually being able to manipulate like the literal lifespans of people. Like we literally saw her suck all of the life force out of a guy and killed him. It was her own son, and so like, how do you fight somebody like that who can kind of like not only put like other people's souls into stuff, but those little like black things collecting souls, like those were Big Mom. Those were part of Big Mom's soul. So she could put her soul, like she can personify her own soul into other things, which is also just like really crazy. Like this is a one of those devil fruits that is like inherently versatile in a way that like makes sense. So it is incredibly dangerous.
It would also help explain. I have a feeling Big Mom is very long lived. especially because she keeps eating the things she gives souls to. So I think the souls eventually go to her. But you cannot, before, in case we miss it, you can give that soul to an animal as well, which is how that rabbit was moving around. Now Randolph is attacking and all that. Yep. So, yeah, it's just everything. We ask about all the versions, all the duplicates that Luffy rounded up. Those are not part of the soul food. Instead, it's because of Brule and her powers. They're just animals that she turned into other things, changed the appearance of. Because the mirrors, I guess, sure. And Luffy's immediately upset. He's like, then why did you tell me that? You've been watching me all along. It's like, well, because I didn't want to get involved. Then, if you don't want to get involved, why are you stuck on the ground?
This guy's kind of pathetic.
He's very pathetic.
Speaking, you'll get your juice.
And that's when we get the explanation. Long ago, very long ago, I was the husband of the pirate Charlotte Linlin, better known as Big Mom. And I like how throughout this explanation, he's been calling her Linlin and has to correct himself a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get this. This is one of the men that ended up being the husband of Big Mom. And you know what? I can see it.
I love this. Like, we had $2, we had 2 daughters, and then she like abandoned me. And I love that it's not even that nobody's after me. They don't even pay attention to him.
I mean, to be fair, he only had 2 daughters with her. That's pretty small when you compare it to everything else.
Right, yeah. You need to be carrying your weight, buddy.
Kids running around. But then all of a sudden, somebody pops up and just plucks him out of the ground.
Yep.
And I get the reveal. Okay, I have to admit, they thought he was a giant underneath there because of the size of his head and hands. Mm-hmm. I never had that thought. Did you?
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely not.
I never thought he was a giant. I thought he was just a weirdo. But
yeah,
he is just a weirdo.
I guess I don't know. Because it's like, because he was stuck in the ground. I don't know. Yeah, I never, that's not how it ever read to me. And I love that this guy, he gets plucked out of the ground by Charlotte Cracker, the 10th son, who is the Minister of Biscuits and a Sweet 3 general. And he's kind of admonishing him for, like what kind of fool gives away information to the enemy?
What? Oda going above and beyond, having to come up with all these different designs, all these different characters for just this one family. It's like, oh my gosh. But then we get something interesting where I don't even know this guy's name. Did we get his name?
I don't think they've revealed it yet. No,
this husband.
We don't know his name yet.
It's just like, hey, no, wait, Cracker, just let me see Chiffon. I heard she got married. I want to congratulate her. You'll at least let me talk to Linlin, won't you? And I heard that like Lola ran away from home. She's priceless family to me. And that's when Nami goes, Lola? And I think I just had a revelation.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because that line confused me at first. But then I just realized what this actually means. Chiffon is a twin. She's twins with Lola. She has to be Lola's twin because they look exactly the same.
They look exactly the same, and he has 2 daughters with Big Mom.
Yeah.
And would you explain why I think is that's the only explanation that makes sense now.
Okay. Again, I thought it was just an alternate name thing, but no, Lola has still not gotten married yet. But again, it's Lola who I've been thinking of this entire time. Unsure if we'd talked about it before.
Yeah.
But the whole fact that she talked about her mom and about her mom's strong and all that, to get that reference back in there. I love how she's actively looking for a husband because she's not allowed to marry on her own, thanks to Big Mom. But and so she's just sort of this own outcast type thing. And like, man, I hope. No, Lola is around. So is Lola around, or did we only just see what we thought was Lola and that turned out to be Chiffon? I can't remember from the last set now.
So from what I remember, because I actively had to play dumb because I knew that was not Lola. I was like, that's Chiffon.
Okay.
So he said, oh, Lola's back. And I'm like, oh yeah, Lola's back. Definitely. Totally.
I got played.
Little more twists and turns. But at the same time, if we're meeting who is implied to be Lola's dad here, And it seems that even if Lola is potentially not around, she's still going to be like, we're going to learn more about her, and she's going to be like kind of important in a third party kind of sense, in a
indirect sense,
in a way that indirectly, and sort of that. I think that's cool that we're bringing stuff back from Thriller Bark in kind of a roundabout way. Gosh darn it, Oda, you got us again.
I never expected that. I never expected Lola to have a twin. Threw me for a loop.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Revelations keep coming.
Yes, they do. Before we get to the like just overall thoughts, we do have an SBS asking the question that we've had as well. Is like, what's up with Zoe? Is the ocean just really shallow there, or is he just really tall? And we find out it's a special elephant that has an extra leg joint, making for extremely long legs, and we get a little portrait there showing how that works. So, like, all right, sure.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, we have other double joints for other of them, so you know what? This makes sense to me. This works out.
Sure. Why not?
And then other ones are just like, well, for some reason, the other two are poop related, so I don't know why that is. So,
yeah,
we're not gonna worry about that one. But yeah, that is our set, and things are moving around, moving along. The crew is absolutely separated. Who knows how long it's going to take to get out of this forest. I have no idea what we're ultimately building to as far as who our final fight is. As things go along, my predictions keep changing. First, I thought it was going to be...
Yeah, because...
I thought Sanji's father was going to be the final big bad, which he might still be. But there's... It feels wrong that Sanji wouldn't be the one to take down his own dad. I hope Sanji's the one who takes down his own family in some way. And Luffy helps in some ways here or there. However, it might work out. But I think Luffy's going to handle Big Mom and Sanji's going to handle Judge. Or they'll sort of loop and have Nami handle Big Mom in some way. Just because you look weak. This might be our chance to have Nami get boosted a little bit. With what she's capable of. I feel like she's going to have a pretty big fight at some point. So.
Yeah, I mean, I feel we really... It's so exciting to me because we are really working with not that many characters. And I really liked what we got of Nami in this section. It felt like, she's trying to keep a hold on things. She's able to sort of hold her own against Brûlé just a little bit, at least enough to escape. So it's clear that the climate baton is putting in that work. And honestly, like it's kind of cool that like with that scene with Brûlé that like Carrot just immediately like went to throw hands immediately. So it's clear that like she's also kind of capable in her own right too.
Mm-hmm. The thing that throws me off the most is just how many members of both Germa and Big Mom's family there are. Because we're gradually meeting more and more of her family members, and it's just like, oh my god, how many of these guys are they actually gonna have to fight?
Yeah, when you think about it, because it's like it feels like every couple of chapters is like, here's the so and so son, here's the so and so numbered daughter of Big Mom, and it's like, oh my god, there's so many dang kids.
Yep.
We met her oldest son, and it felt like a complete like non sequitur. It was like not even the most important thing, not even the most relevant thing. So
nope.
Yeah,
there he is.
We are starting to get into the twists and turns of Whole Cake Island, and I'm very interested to see how your predictions will turn out.
Probably not well at the rate I'm going right now, so we'll see how it all turns out.
But again, there's enough twists and turns going on that by the time that one thing is wrong, you'll have enough fodder to guess something else that'll be interesting.
That is true.
So this arc keeps you on your toes.
Yep. So can't wait for more. But with that, I believe we've said all we've wanted to say about chapters 831 to 835 of One Piece. Thank you so much for listening, and you can find more of my ramblings and stream VODs over at BitNerd Games on YouTube, or simply BitNerd on BlueSky. And Brandon, where can everyone find you at?
I am Brandon Bovia on Twitter and BlueSky, talking about anime, manga, games, and my job. And I I'm still trying to catch up on summer seasonals and stuff. I haven't posted about this at all, but I'm gonna shout out a show that I've only watched 2 episodes of called Leviathan, which is on Netflix, and it is a 3D CG animated anime from the Beastars and Trigun Stampede studio. So the CG is actually like cool. Really good. And it's kind of World War I with mechs and fantasy animals. The actual titular Leviathan is like a whale airship. It's super cool.
That's cool.
It is apparently based on a novel. But yeah, no, I'm having a good time with it. I don't know if it gets better or worse as it goes on, but just all 12 episodes dropped, and I'm having a good time with it so far.
Very cool. So, yeah, check that out. And if you'd like to help us out more, you can support the podcast over at patreon.com/Derrick Bittner. That's DERRICKBITNER to listen to the next episode ad-free 3 days early, as well as patron-exclusive bonus episodes. And make sure to return next time as we take a break from the manga, because it's time to go back to the movies with Film Gold. So, until then, my friends, bye.
Remember to take life one piece at a time.
Frankly, I do not relish the thought of marrying off one of my invaluable sons to someone in that demented madwoman's lineage. Then I remembered, years ago, I had another child who was an absolute failure.